That thing right there. That Off His Wig Again mixtape coming soon to datpiff.com as well as mixconnect.com and a few other mixtape websites. So look out for that. It is my track featuring my homeboy J Mac. The beat is produced by homeboy Saru Beats, Sarubeatz. Look him up on Twitter as well as listen to some of his beats that's available right now on youtube.com. I have been a little bit into the story mode on this Mortal Kombat joint. I'm about chapter 12 or 13, I believe, into the story mode. I believe it makes you play as literally almost everybody in the game per chapter and things of that nature. They tell it in an awesome movie production. I would have liked to see this. I wouldn't have minded, let me put it that way. I wouldn't have minded to see this as a CG movie the way with all the movie minus the fight scenes. I'm not saying the fighting scenes are bad because you're controlling the fight scenes, but as a fan of the series, I would not have minded seeing Mortal Kombat do a CG movie like that with the graphics they're using in-game as well as the graphics that are in-game or the graphics they're using in their cutscenes. So to see what they pull off in the game, I don't want to give away the story, what it's about, the plot or anything, because there's some individuals that still don't have Mortal Kombat X and who haven't played it, so I don't want to give away the story. Like I said, it basically centers around the newcomers of Takeda, Kung Jin, Jackie Jax, and Cassie Cage, and them helping basically fight, an outworld rebellion, so to speak. And you guys can take it from there, because basically every Mortal Kombat is that. Earthrealm trying to save itself from Outworld, so you guys can dig into that and take a look at it. I just don't want to give the story away myself, because I don't want to ruin it for any gamer out there, you dig? That's why I haven't done a video of the story mode yet. I've done just the fatalities because I didn't want to post any of the stuff up. It's still early. I got the game the day before it came out for a midnight release at the GameStop. Won the tournament as well, so I want a free copy. I'm going to be giving away a copy next month for a lucky fan out there that's a subscriber to my YouTube and Twitch pages, so you guys look out for that. But with that being said, I had the game the Monday before it dropped, so it was awesome. I was playing it. And to have had it that little bit of time, there's other individuals that's still playing through it who did not go to the story mode first. They went directly into online battles with their friends, and that's fine. But I didn't want to post up any of the video of the gameplay footage because I didn't want you guys getting upset because you didn't see the story mode stuff on your own version of the game, and yet you're watching somebody else's YouTube page and it clearly states Mortal Kombat X story mode gameplay. But I digress. The story is great so far. Like I said, I'm about the 13th chapter on it right now, or the 14th. It's in between 12 and 14. I'm on one of those chapters of where I left off. It's beautifully done. And as I said, if that was a standalone movie, I would have gotten it. Shit, Resident Evil Degeneration was awesome. I dig the movie. Resident Evil has killed a couple of just digitally animated flicks, and they were hot to me. So with that being said, I wouldn't have mind seeing Mortal Kombat do that. And they just may, because, like I said, this is another relaunch for the series. Ever since Mortal Kombat came out on Xbox 360 and PS3 a couple years back, they killed that on the launch. Now they got Mortal Kombat X in their hand. There's been millions of matches online played. I played a few. I'm like 4-4 online in ranked matches. But there has been a plethora of fatalities, thousands of pints of blood spilled, awesome brutalities pulled off, crazy combo strains created, and all that from the folks at NetherRealm Studios and WB Games. Thanks, guys. It's an awesome title. I'm going to come back from the next musical break. I'm going to make sure I describe to you guys the whole new, but not so new, brutality system. I'm pretty sure those of you who are playing Mortal Kombat and have played it over the years know that the brutality system was introduced around Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 when it was released for consoles like Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, and later on like Mortal Kombat Trilogy on the Nintendo 64 and PlayStation 1. There was, let me see, 11 to 12 button presses that you had to pull off in order to make that brutality come to fruition. In order for that to happen, you had to do a combo of move button presses that you had to pat, 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 pat. And then after doing it, hopefully if you did it fast enough in the order it was meant, the screen will turn gray. You'll do a super ultra combo a la Killer Instinct to where the ending blow is an uppercut and your opponent's body blows up into an unrealistic amount of bones, rib cages, skulls, legs, arms, feet, and everything else. But That's not what brutalities are anymore. We'll get into it a little bit more when we get back from the break, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, we are about to get into the next track of the evening. This one right here is from the homeboy Kyle Ride, and the track is entitled House Party, live on Radio AFG Live. Let's go.
Bitches, sipping burritos, we crazy as fuck. We sitting outside, kill all mosquitoes. We rolling the dope, damn I'm so high, fly. Kill like an eagle. This song is so high, but I'm so cold. Fuck, I got a fever though. This that type of song that make you take shots all night long. Y'all growing me coke so damn strong, it's got me off in another zone. Now I'm drunk texting your phone. Send me a pic with your boy shorts on. It's 4 o'clock up in the morning. You said you can't get your boyfriend's home. So what, bro? 8-0 and beer pong and no one is beating me. Nobody. Shut up, my nigga dudes. Damn, he killing his innocence. Palm massage for sure. I know that shit be killing his kidneys. Tonight is the night where I feel like I'm a mate. I can't make a decision. I'm mixing and sipping. The fuck am I drinking? Then is she hitting? Then why is it brown? I'm taking it down. Fuck anything for the bitches. I'm talking to women. One white and one brown. Guess I fuck both of the bitches. We doing it big. Shot at the shot. I'm going in till 11 o'clock. Cars are parked, go down the block. The neighbors are pissed. They are calling the cops. Yo, please don't blow my high. For real. Come over, come have a good time. For real. Bitch, you live right down the street. You don't even have to drive. Bring me in my system, 1800 for my niggas. When bras straight out the cooler, that's the one with cheap liquor. And everybody fucked up by my IG, all these bitches. And hashtag house party. Chillin' with my niggas. Yeah. You know what? Hey, I show up to the party, toe up. For the fucking flow up. Tell my niggas blow up. Tell my niggas roll up. Tell my niggas turn up.
Star, you know where you can find me and other hot independent artists out there, and that's on Radio AFG Live with my boy Young Hawk. Let's get it.
Yes indeed, yes indeed, yes indeed. It's your boy Young H to the double AK. I am him in the flesh. It's Radio AFG Live. We right back at it like we never left. The track you just got finished listening to was from the homeboy Kyle Rod, and it was entitled House Party right here on Radio AFG Lives. Have you played Mortal Kombat X Wednesday? You guys want to holler at the homeboy Kyle Rod? You can follow him via Twitter. Hit him up on that joint at KyleRod_96. That's at KyleRod_96. CALROD_96. Make sure you guys hit him up. He do features and things of that nature. We get it popping, man. Right here on Radio AFG Live. If you have music from my fault, and I want to let y'all know he's from Georgia to Virginia, Georgia native, Virginia resident, the homeboy Kyle Rod. And thank you very much. Shout out to the homeboy Kyle Rod and his team over there with his label and his peoples, because they sent the music over for us to play. And not only was we playing it, he made it on Street Heat Volume 2. Volume 3 is on the way. Now, I said I was going to explain the new level of the brutalities on Mortal Kombat X. As I described in depth but briefly before the musical selection just played, previously on Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, the brutality was introduced on the console versions of the game. You basically pressed about 11 different buttons. I'm trying to think. I think it was about 11 or 12 buttons you had to press in succession. High punch, low punch, high kick, low kick, high punch, high punch, block, low punch, high punch, run. Like, it was crazy. And after doing it, the screen would turn gray. Your ball get beat the hell up. Boom, your body blow up to 100,000 bones. Multiple rib cages, legs, feet, arms, and heads. But it is what it is. It's Mortal Kombat. It's called tongue-in-cheek humor, ladies and gentlemen. Nowadays, with the revitalization of the franchise from Mortal Kombat on the 360 and PS3 to now the newly released Mortal Kombat X, my bad, Radio AFG logo. With the new release of Mortal Kombat X, you now have the brutalities being a amped up version of a special move that your character already possesses. Now, they range from easy to hard to pull off, not in terms of the special move itself, but in terms of the circumstances that must be met in order for the brutality to take place. Different characters have different brutalities, which have different characteristics, some pertaining to only strict variations of the character. Only certain variations of that character could do said brutality. Then there's about one or two that they can do universally, regardless of which version that you pick. I'll give you a case in point. Sub-Zero, who I played with a little bit. I've actually done Kung Lao's brutality first. His was the first one I wanted to do. Pulled it off. It was awesome. But I'll tell you about that after I describe Sub-Zero's. One of the easier brutalities that you can pull off with Sub-Zero has to come in the later round. It has to be above 40 seconds, no later than 40 seconds remaining on the clock. The move you have to pull off is freezing the opponent and uppercutting them with any version of the Sub-Zero, any variation of the Sub-Zero that's up there. There's 3 versions of each character, so any variant of Sub-Zero that you pick can do this. You'll freeze the character and uppercut them. When you know that they only have a little bit of energy to where if you uppercut them, they will die, and it will say finish him, you will freeze the opponent, and when you go to do the uppercut this time, as opposed to it just knocking them down in the screen saying finish them, the person will be stuck there frozen, their fucking head will fly off, blood will squirt out of that joint in realistic fashion, and it will scream out brutality, Sub-Zero wins, ladies and gentlemen. That is the way to pull that one off. When you have another version of his move, there's another brutality, and it's this actual freeze. It could kill you instantaneously, and that is a brutality. I believe this one is actual any variant of Sub-Zero. It has to come, like I said, in the later round. Your opponent has to be at health to where if you double freeze them, they will die. Now, what I mean by double freeze, in earlier Mortal Kombat, if you threw the ice at somebody with Sub-Zero, then threw it again, when they got frozen, you would freeze yourself because you threw it at them twice. On this Mortal Kombat, when you throw the ice at them, they'll be frozen in place. If you throw it at them again, it'll knock them down a la a Hadouken or something, and it'll make them fall because you hit them with 2 consecutive ice balls, as opposed to you actually being frozen in place because you threw 2 ice balls at an opponent, which is a welcome addition to the series. Good job there, Boom. This one, as I said, has to be above 40 seconds of clock. You got to have over 50% of your health. The opponent has to have low health, and you have to be a full screen distance away. You freeze them, and then do the extended version or the enhanced version of the freeze, which is doing the motion and then also hitting the block button on top of the command button that it takes you to throw the freeze after doing the motion with the controller. If you've done it correctly, the person will be standing there frozen. The second ice will hit them, their body will completely fucking explode, and brutality, Sub-Zero wins will ensue. There's another one. Kung Lao, as I was telling you. Kung Lao's brutality, one of his brutalities, each character has about 5 to 6. I think they have 6 because there's one specific. No,